To the Batcave, old chums! We're Cape Crusaders powering the information of the gaming industry into the Arkham Asylum of your minds. I'm Prinny Wonder Chris, this is Dark Knight Mike.
Hello.
And this is Gotham Guardian Grover.
Dude!
And can't forget our Oracle Overseer Etna in Chatland. And if you're wondering, this sounds like a game news introduction, that's because it technically is. We're merging Roundtable and Game News today on our Roundtable for November 21st, 2013. Typically, we're a weekly casual show where we talk about what we've been up to and all the various gaming-related stuff, but we're also going to throw all the latest that's been happening over this last week, which is largely rapid-fire this week. That's why we're merging them. It's not just because we're lazy. That's part of it. You're quite right there, Edna. Yeah, in the background, you may hear a little bit of construction work.
It's not my fault!
Yeah, there was a little bit of an accident. There was some flared timbers. A Prinny was thrown. Who told you could fly, Gunther? But yeah, Grover just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, chain reaction of explosions, and we have a great new bay window. Yeah. Anyway, in the background you'll see more Kickstarter projects. Check out the links below if you're curious about any of them or want to help fund them. And also you'll find the trailers to what we're about to speak of now, though once again, it's like trailers are on the outs for these bundle packages. But this week, Bundle Stars introduced yet another great package called The Outer Limits, with 10 games of multiple genres. It includes PS3 indie hit Hydrophobia Prophecy. It's worth $4 alone if you ask me. The Humble Bundle brings us Mobile Bundle 3, which is a gathering of popular Android titles like Epic Kingdom Rush and Ridiculous Fishing, but unfortunately this time not a single one is available for PC, so... And Pinball fans rejoice! The weekly bundle this time comes from Zen Studios with a gathering of tables for their Pinball FX2 system, with the over-the-average tables including some goodies from Star Wars and Marvel Universe. So, about $80 worth of pinball games for $1 to $6. Yeah.
That's a lot of damn pinball games.
That it is.
Weekly humbly.
So...
Like a pinball machine.
A real one? Well,
Yeah,
what real one would you have? Or do you even know? Some people have nostalgic ones like they had at their local arcade or something like that. But
Yeah, I'd like to have the one that was at the IGA. Good luck. That's what I'm thinking. Good luck. It seemed like a generic one. Sometimes you were encouraged to shake it. Like at a certain point, there was a certain mode in it, and it would start going shake, shake, and it would do the shake song, and that's the only time you were allowed to shake the pinball machine.
Otherwise it'd go into tilt, and the ball would just fall without you being able to do it.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It's been a while, dude. Arcades is kind of an 80s thing.
It's been a long while. I haven't seen a pinball machine in, like, years.
So speaking of things you've been playing, what have you been playing, Grover?
Well, I played some Kerbal Space Program. I just been testing ways of saving fuel as usual. Yeah, I don't want to go much into that because all of it's been epic failures that I unfortunately didn't record or anything. So then I played some Minecraft. We started on an ocean biome. I mean, like a little tiny island area, like 3 or 4 islands in. I got the idea of turning it into a humongous little fort area for a town. So I built a humongous levee wall that was like, I don't know, 256 by 256 by 256 in all sides. And that took us about 3 weeks to get accomplished because I had to drain part of the ocean and then we had to put the ocean back afterwards. But it is done and it looks glorious. And now we are free to strip mine the ocean away around it. Then I played some Path of Exile and I can't remember exactly where I saw this game. I don't know how I noticed it, but as soon as I noticed it, I started playing it and I was like, oh my god, it's Titan Quest. And yeah, I've been playing the crap out of that.
Good stuff.
And then they got me to play, after begging, they got me to play Planetside 2, which was funny because within 30 minutes of me playing it, something went wrong on servers and we were in this humongous firefight. I mean, literally hundreds of players. It was the Terran and the NC, and suddenly nobody could kill each other. Nobody could hurt each other on the entire server. And so
there could only be one.
Everybody packed into one little room that was in this fortress, and we were all jumping up and down, having what we were calling a rave party. And that went on for like 30 minutes until you know, it announced that the server's now fixed, and about 10 seconds later, everybody drops dead. Everybody started killing each other rapidly. I mean, the screen just filled up with deaths.
It happened. Okay. Well, that too.
And that's it. That's all I played.
That sounded video worthy. It's a shame somebody somewhere didn't get a video of that.
I got some pictures of it, but no video, unfortunately, because I wasn't recording for that either.
Well. Excuse you.
Oh, my nose is running.
It's probably the side effects of exploding.
Yeah.
Speaking of exploding things, what have you been playing?
Well, I think that, let's see.
You had to think about it.
Yeah, well, I don't remember if I had finished the BioShock DLC last week or not.
No, you're still in the middle of it, I think.
Okay, well, I did finish it. It is incredibly short, as everyone has been saying. The only reason it took me as long as it did was because I was playing on hard, so I was having to reload my checkpoint quite a lot. But it is possible to upgrade the weapons and the plasmids that you get, and it takes money, and when you die, you lose money to be revived, so that's why I was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the idea of not being able to update stuff, but turns out you don't really need to that much. So after I finished that, I started playing the Clash in the Clouds DLC, which I never went to. It's not bad. It's okay. It's just basically no story, all combat, BioShock Infinite. Aside from that and World of Warcraft, I have also played a little bit of Pokemon, mainly on my breaks at work, so nothing worth really mentioning.
The smidgens, as I like to call it. Just a smidgen.
Just a smidgen. And let's see, I think that's really about it. I downloaded Alan Wake, actually, just before we started recording, so it's completely done now. And as soon as we're done, I'll probably play Alan Wake throughout the week.
Cool.
So I've got too many games in my Steam library that I haven't played, or have played but not beaten. So what I'm doing is I'm going down my library list and starting with A. Alan Wake.
There you go.
And I'm just gonna go straight down the list. And it's just some things I'll skip over, some things I won't. So, but yeah, I'll make sure everything gets played in due time.
Well, I played more of that MMO browser Tynan in the background of stuff. Kind of hitting a little bit of a brick wall for some reason. I think there's been some major patch changes because they don't always tell you up front what they're doing because they don't always have to reboot the server for them. Matter of fact, one of the characters has a complete animation redesign for a lot of its attacks, and it just happened overnight. I just happened to notice. There's characters that's missing a whole lot more. There's been a lot of nerfing stuff going on, and I find it kind of obnoxious that here I was getting beat by all this stuff, and now that I finally have it, now it's getting nerfed. But continuing some Mount and Blade. That's a hard game to say because people think you're Mount and Blade. No. But anyway, I've got one character dedicated to the Nordic Lords campaign sort of thing, and the other guy, I'm just having him conquer every single castle he can come along. But unfortunately, I bit off a little more than I could chew, and I have only about 70 guys, and I got my castle attack not so long ago by about 350, so that was a long fight. Return to Realms of Ancient War to get a little bit of that Diablo clone stuff going on. I'm trying to get it beat because I think I'm about 3/4 of the way through it now. And just started Shelter this morning, which is kind of a casual survival game. I know it's making its round through several of the bundles recently. I'm trying to tongue-tie myself here for no reason at all. But it's about a mother badger escorting and feeding her young as they adventure through the countryside, basically. Nabbed some of those bundles that we mentioned above, so yeah, I'm getting really close to about 260 Steam games, and like I mentioned before, I think I had just around 100 at the beginning of the year. So I've gotten a lot of games, and you know what? I probably have not spent any more on these Humble Bundles than I did probably the last time that I went with Mike to a GameStop. That's crazy. I probably only spent about $80. Oh, it'd be less than that, dude. 160 games. Of course, not all of them are Steam, too. I have to remember that. So, yeah, there's even more games. Anyway, kind of taking the Prinny Plays break. I think everybody's already noticed that. But I intend on getting back to it fairly soon, especially since it looks like we may be taking the week off next week from the show. I would still want to try to get a topic show done, if nothing else, just to get that done, especially because we've been sort of avoiding the whole PS4, Xbox One thing for the most part. And we can find just a little 30 minutes here or there so we can do ourselves a little topic show and just our opinions about it, what we've heard, etc. So it won't be much of a topic show, but it'll be something.
I did try one game that I just didn't really understand very much, or the main reason it just crashed over and over and I couldn't figure it out. It's called the SCP series. It's some horror game where you're in this laboratory of crazy monsters and stuff, and I can't get it to run past 5 minutes and it crashes. I always get to this one part that I can figure out, I got through, and then crash.
All of the monsters react so differently. Some of them can go through walls, some of them can't see you, and
yeah, the scariest monster in the game I've heard is SCP-106 that can go through walls, and when he grabs you, he drags you into another dimension and tortures you in there. They actually have this humongous website that's thousands of SCPs, or somebody made a wiki of all these damn things. It's kind of cool to go through them and look at some of the ones, because these people that put some time and effort into writing about these things, like in a laboratory format at that, too. I learned about it like 2 days ago.
So alrighty then, let's hit up some of this game news stuff. Normally we kind of share the news, but there's so little here, and it's not really specialized news of any sort. So we'll just kind of casually talk about it instead of just throwing it out there. But the biggest news is obviously that we're just like 12 hours, actually less than that, from as we're recording right now, from the actual launch of the US Xbox One, and PS4's been out for about a week now. So yeah, I guess we're actually going to see these guys duke it out over the holiday season and see what happens. And
very soon you can pour a nice refreshing glass of water from your water cooler.
And the one for New Zealand that was protected by sharks has indeed been sold. Has indeed been sold. That's not a typo. That's just me. Bleh. So there's that. And another plus side moment, as thanks to an awkward tech demonstration video that I've seen it, I don't get it, but Microsoft had to make a little bit of damage control statement about it because it got so stupid. There's an official announcement, though, that the Xbox One cannot see through clothing. That what was people were mistaking as something else was just a fold in the denim of the guy's pants and nothing more. Some people, man, I don't know.
What?
This was apparently a big thing.
Yeah,
so everybody was kind of getting defensive that, how can you play a game if you're having to cover up all the time? I don't know. So yeah, and then the CEO, Steve Ballmer's having his final shareholder speech before he leaves the position to... I'm not sure if they found his replacement yet. They've been talking about it for a while. But he defended...
I think nobody would be a better replacement.
Well, they gotta have somebody running it.
Put a cat in the chair.
Actually, I can see that.
If a city in Alaska could have a cat for a mayor, Microsoft could have a cat for a CEO.
Yeah, exactly. But he defended both Bing and the Xbox, the new Xbox, due to the scrutiny and the lack of confidence people had for the services since their kind of creation. But personally, I'm more irritated at Google. Now, the whole thing about tying the Google Plus to the YouTube thing was bad enough, but PrinnyCast already had a Google Plus account before all of this mess started.
Yep.
And so we were already tied with that. Now, my music account is a little different. I can understand the screw-ups going on with it. But I was trying to comment, and I'm trying to... I think it was me calling M. Night Shyamalan instead of what it's supposed to be, M. Night Shyamalan. So I was trying to correct myself in the comments, and I couldn't do it. They would not let me comment, and I couldn't figure it out. So after re-signing in a couple of times, I found out they have made 4 Google Plus accounts, plus the one we already had for PrinnyCast. And each one of them has a different email address. There's like a bunch of gobbledygook numbers after each one of them. And I cannot sign into the Google Plus account that we originally had. I have to sign into one of these copycats in order for me to comment. The heck, people?
What the hell?
Is this part of the Obama site web thing going on here?
I'm kind of scared to go and check mine now.
I'm hoping it's a rare occurrence, and yeah, I don't usually get political, but guys, if it takes $170 million to put together the Obamacare website, and it only took $60 million for all of World of Warcraft at launch, somebody needs to get fired very quickly.
Yes. Somebody needs to go to unemployment land and take a little swim.
If not jail time, man. That's serious business there. And I'm surprised Mike didn't say anything.
Sorry, the cat's trying to... I think all the construction is scaring her.
Becoming a show
cat? She's trying to climb inside you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that construction. But one of the other big news stories this week, and it's kind of awkward to report because it's been a rumor since July, but Apple is seriously talking about buying the company PrimeSense. Don't know the name and why it's a big deal? Well, they're the company that created the tech behind the Kinect on the 360. So even though Microsoft is the one that took it and upgraded it for the new Xbox One version, the company's still around, obviously. So, but the understanding is that Apple is looking into more interactive stuff for kind of like the Oculus Rift, basically, is what I'm hearing. Only for a more standard audience, like
for 20 times the price.
Gotta include that. And then, speaking of prices, GameSpot reported a 10% loss of shares from poor sales, but that contradicts the fact that the chain's own success this season due to Grand Theft Auto 5 jumping the sales to ridiculous amounts. I'm not sure what happened there, but their biggest news is that they've acquired Spring Mobile. It's a retail chain for AT&T's mobile phones for years with more than 150 locations across the United States. GameStop, not GameSpot. GameStop.
Whoopsies.
Because their names are awfully similar, and I'm kind of dyslexic, so...
They should just name it Game Shit. Game Shit, there we go.
And Game This. So what happened to Winamp?
Winamp is shutting down.
No!
What?
Yep, they announced it last night. They will be shutting down completely on December 20th.
Why?
AOL decided that it was their time.
That doesn't mean the old units won't exist. It just means they won't.
No, it just means that there won't be anything new from them anymore.
And that's probably just as well because my Winamp got extremely laggy and slow about a year and a half ago.
Winamp will no longer be kicking the llama's ass.
Really whips the llama's ass.
People that are familiar with World of Warcraft's pet store are also probably familiar with the fact that usually about once a year they'll release a pet for $10 and donate proceeds to a charity that they randomly choose. Usually it's Make-A-Wish, if not some other emergency charity that's going on for something like Superstorm Sandy last year. Well, this year they're doing Make-A-Wish again, and it's the Alterac Brew Pup, which has been data mined by people for a while now, and nobody just knew what it was for. That is being offered for $10. Also, the Enchanted Fey Dragon is finally out. It's for sale, $25, but you can double up and and get the Brew Pup and the Enchanted Fey Dragon for $30, and they'll donate, regardless of how you get the Brew Pup, each cell will get $5 to Make-A-Wish. So it's not the full proceeds of it, but $5 to Make-A-Wish for each Brew Pup that is sold.
I'm kind of surprised it's not the Philippines this time, but maybe that came in too late, because that was really
actually,
recent.
Yeah, Blizzard, any employee that donates towards the Philippines disaster, they are matching. On the website, they actually have a link to the Red Cross Donation Center for you to donate to that if you like.
Cool. That is my thumbs up seal of approval, because it means so much.
The thing is that they tried doing the emergency relief with Sandy, and they got blasted. So people were like, oh, it's just a blah, blah, blah. You know, how convenient for you to already have this pet in. So they're like, you know, whatever. We'll just do our normal Make-A-Wish, and you guys can donate to the Philippines if you want. So thanks, Internet.
A little bit of that rapid-fire stuff I was talking about. So we got a free-to-play Lord of the Rings Online has added the Helm's Deep expansion. Expect to actually pay money for that, though. Free to play, but you have to, you know, Guild Wars style. Elder Scrolls Online beta invites are now rolling out, while Diablo 3's closed beta for Reaper of Souls has also begun. Upcoming Xbox One monster hopeful Titanfall is getting a group of Kinect's playsets based on the title that will be unveiled at the New York Toy Fair in 2014. League of Legends Season 3 World Championships garnered a whopping 34 million viewers. Yeah, that's a successful rate right there. Grand Theft Auto 5's free Beach Bum DLC went live for both consoles. Speaking of DLC, State of Decay will get their first brand new DLC next week called Breakdown. Gran Turismo 6 will bring the ability to buy credits with real money for those who actually want to do so. Square Enix is teasing about a new Tomb Raider Definitive Edition that they will reveal more about come December, but Amazon's leaked speculation is that it will be a PS4 version and includes all of the previous DLC for it. And lastly, the fan community remake of Half-Life 1 called Black Mesa has been decided and allowed to be sold as a full product on Steam.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's pretty good news.
I could have sworn Black Mesa's been done for a while, like a year or so after Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, I guess they finally got permission to sell it.
Because it kind of disappeared off the radar. I never heard about it again after that, so I just assumed it was done. But yeah, that's game news for our November 21st, 2013, and yes, November 21st. Scratch your head a little bit. It is Thursday. It is not Friday. It is not Saturday. We're actually recording Thursday. So that kind of wraps us up. Follow us on Twitter at PrinnyCast, and you can contact us with email at PrinnyCast@gmail.com, as long as they don't do something to Gmail too. Google Plus it to death. You can find the rest of the links to YouTube and Twitch channels and all that good stuff down below. Again, we may not be back next week in any form. We're going to try to do a topic show, but scheduling is going to be kind of wild. It's Thanksgiving week, and
crazy.
Still a lot of work going on too, so it's going to be kind of rough. And I know December's going to be the same way, so there's very likely that we'll be taking our 2 weeks that we did last time off too. I'll try to make sure that we get some blooper shows, maybe some Prenny plays, and maybe the other guys can do a little something every now and then too. We don't know. We'll never know. So yeah, we're going to be kind of a little lazier this year, I think. Sometimes we overdo it.
Lazies.
But hope you enjoy, and we'll catch you all next week. No, we won't.
Wait a minute.
We'll catch you next time.
You just said
I lie.
See you next time.
Goodbye.